Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I want to begin by asking you one question. With all these anti-Ruto rallies that Raila is conducting, what is the end game? What is the ultimate goal? The question I'm asking is bothering many Azimio supporters, because it seems that no one knows what is happening. The movements of Raila Odinga are covered in obscurity, and no one except Raila himself seems to know what he wants. There are people who had given up, and this was under the bridge to them. They had swept it under the carpet after the August polls, and they had moved on with their lives. But Raila came back and said that the whistleblower has indicated that he won by 8 million votes against Ruto's 5 million votes. And Raila has given his people hope, and he has gained momentum. And if you look at the rallies, the people are attending those rallies very willingly. They're very enthusiastic and ready to go. They are preaching one message. They are telling Raila Odinga that they want their victory, nothing else. And Raila came back with such force that even political pundits agree that this is the Raila that they have always known, the lion, the Trojan horse himself. In a tweet that you've all seen, a few days ago, Ngwini Mutahi said that the Raila we knew is back, Simba, and he has nothing to lose except his chains. There is ground swelling in his favor, but Ruto is an immovable object. So even Ngwini Mutahi himself, a man who has been at the center of power in 2013 and 2017, in fact he was assistant technical advisor of Uhuru Kenyatta in State House, he agrees that Raila has come back in full swing, and he believes that Raila can turn the tables. But there has been some signals, very mixed signals, that we don't understand. Babu Owino once said that the relationship between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta is one that is full of con games. Because Babu Owino said that Uhuru Kenyatta wants Raila to confide in him as he confides in William Ruto. And he was saying that this is another crafted plan to cheat Raila Odinga. This elicited a lot of reactions. And Babu Owino was daring Uhuru Kenyatta to come and join them in their campaigns. But one person who said it in even a clearer manner was Roseline Akombe. Akombe took to her tweet and said the following, that political economy number 101, that states that the higher the political tension you raise, the higher the returns at the negotiation table. Interest of citizens are secondary. I read that tweet and I thought, could it be what I'm thinking? Could it mean that the international community has ganged up and they are now trying to push Raila, and Raila is going to dance to their tune? Because when Akombe says that the more you raise the political tensions, the higher the returns at the negotiating table, she simply meant that when Raila heightens the political temperatures and he has galvanized his political base and they are scaring William Ruto stiff, then they will be called for a truce, and they will sit on a round table so that he can quote his prize. He's given whatever is given, and he forgets his followers. That is what Akombe is saying. And many people, if you're walking around and you ask the Raila supporters, there is this fear, because they say that historically speaking, sometimes Raila goes, and when you think he's about to reach the finishing line, then what you see is a handshake. It happened in 2007 when they were with William Ruto, and people thought that they are going to take their victory. But Raila bowed down, and sometimes I say that he puts the interest of the nation at hand. And one person was asking me that if your votes have been rigged and someone is telling you to put the interest of the nation first, why can't the person who has rigged your votes also put the interest of the nation first to drop his ambition and give you back your victory? And he actually convinced me that sometimes we have to look at both sides of the coin. Why must it be that Raila is the one who must shelve his ambitions? Why is it that is the one who must put the interest of the nation first? Why can't it be the other person? Why couldn't it be the former president Mwai Kibaki? Why couldn't it be Uhuru Kenyatta? And now why can't it be William Samoei Ruto? Then the reaction in a tweet that is now the talk of town is the one of Kabando Wa Kabando, the former Mukuraini member of parliament. Kabando is saying that Ruto is baiting Azimio while Raila is on his way to parliament via Ruto's slide by constitutional amendments, that Ruto and Raila is in the plot and they have a secret talk. And they're saying that already Uhuru Kenyatta has been given the special envoy keeping the peacekeeping missions in Congo and everywhere, and I think he's also going to be part of the observers. He's going to head the African Union observers in the Nigerian elections that is taking place in the next 4 days. And Kabando is alleging that then Raila is going to be given an office, a parliamentary office, is going to be the prime minister. You know, I've read these two and I was like, can it really happen? Because that is the fear of most Azimio supporters. Remember, Raila is the one who came back and resuscitated the hopes. There are people who had moved on. And then he came back with the whistleblower thing. And when William Ruto proposed an office of official opposition leader, they rejected it and he has said that it does not need it. In fact, on his campaigns, when he attended the first Kamkunji rally, Raila indicated publicly that he is not interested in a handshake. And they have repeated that. Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka have always said that their votes were rigged and all they want is that they want back their victory. The other time when Raila was meeting his senators, the senators that belong to Azimio, where they were replacing the Madam Dulo, Fatuma Dulo, with the Narok senator, Ledama Lekina, Raila said that this is a victory that you cannot abandon, and he believes that they won. And so he has indicated that he's not interested in the handshake. When he was last called to attend the Washington, D.C. meeting, the U.S. African meeting, summit, people knew very well that this was the West trying to handle him the way they usually do, because he had planned for a parallel Jamhuri celebration in Jacaranda. But then Raila came back and the supporters were very happy because it seemed that he had rejuvenated himself and it started going for the rallies against the chagrin of William Ruto, against the chagrin of the Kenya Kwanza, against the chagrin of the international community. And these two tweets are disturbing because when Akombe says that you are galvanizing your support, you raise the political tensions so that you can have higher returns in the negotiating table, but Kabando comes and says it all, that there are plans to make Raila Odinga a prime minister. Ladies and gentlemen, this is totally unacceptable. Because as Akombe says, that the common mwananchi are forgotten. You know, in the last general election, when Raila supported Uhuru Kenyatta, many believe that that is what killed Raila Odinga. Because people have known Raila Odinga as a man who speaks for the common wananchi. He speaks when the idea is unpopular. He fights corruption. But you see, when he was in the handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, his hands were tied. There are things he could not criticize. And William Ruto took advantage of that and accused them as the duo that were responsible for the high cost of living. And because Raila was known as a man of the people, people really swallowed this lie. if he goes into another handshake and is given an office, let me tell you, Raila will be compromised. And the Kenya Kwanza team will go around bragging that we have given him an office, he has stopped making noise. And if there is going to be any failure, they are going to, accuse Raila Odinga. They will say that they had a plan as Kenya Kwanza, but it is Raila who derailed their plan. The same thing they did, the accusation they made when Raila was with Uhuru Kenyatta. And they said that Raila had turned as a self-professed advisor to Uhuru Kenyatta. So they will say that Raila has been a failure, that wherever he goes, things fail, and they will, in fact, he will sanitize William Ruto. Because William Ruto will have where to anchor his failures. You see, as it is, Raila has left William Ruto. Amemwanika. William Ruto is now in a lonely island, is being seen as a man who was lying to Kenyans and he cannot deliver. If Raila goes there, Raila is going to cover him up and is going to carry all the burdens in this government. Already Raila is talking of electoral injustices. They want to replace a credible IEBC with credible people who will give us a credible result in 2027. If he goes in bed with William Ruto, with Kenya Kwanza, he will stop talking about it. This is what he did when they were with Uhuru Kenyatta. He had an opportunity to kick out Wafula Chebukati, Boya Molu, and the other commissioner. He did not do that. I dare repeat that Raila is going to disappoint. If he does this, it's going really to disappoint his supporters. And if he does this, it's going to be proven that Raila is cheap and is a man who you can easily deal with. You simply rob him of his victory, give him an office. That will be it. And he cannot run away from that because history will now prove him wrong. And his supporters will really be disillusioned. In fact, most of them will just go to Ruto because what is the need of voting? And when you think it is gone, Raila resuscitates your hopes, then he goes into another handshake. It is not possible, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen in the social media, I have seen people reacting on these platforms. All they want is their victory. And that is what the leaders are saying, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Raila Odinga can stoop that low and make the same mistake? Then I would agree that it has been a long con game. And all of them are in it. From where I sit, I still want to give the benefit of doubt to Raila Odinga. I believe he is very steadfast. And I want to treat Roseline Akombe's tweets and Kabando Wa Kabando's tweets as their personal opinions. But then, I can smell a rat. I don't know what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think is happening? Do you think we have a handshake in the offing? Because I will tell you here, if Raila agrees to that handshake, he will be politically finished. And he will not come back to his supporters to give them another excuse. I can assure you, it is the international community that is pushing for this. But if Raila remains steadfast, he will achieve what he wants. Or could it be that what he wants was a handshake? I don't know. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Share with me in the comment section.